First, a few of the myths about pricing, though, that I come across whenever I talk about pricing. Here are a couple of the big myths, in fact, three myths. And the first one, the biggest one, this is a big myth that's holding us back, is when I'm in workshops with accounting firms and bookkeeping firms, I ask the question, put your hand up if you have price-sensitive clients. And what's amazing is all hands go up in the room. And perhaps you think you've got price-sensitive clients too. Actually, the reality is that's wrong. You don't have price-sensitive clients. And the reason for that is because behavioural economists have done research, and they've estimated that about 20%, about 1 in 5 people in society are price-sensitive. Imagine, for example, the little old retired lady who every weekend goes to the doormat to pick up the free newspapers. She scans through those newspapers and, armed with a pair of scissors, meticulously cuts out the adverts for 3p off butter. She's price sensitive. She's got time on her hands. However, think about your clients. She's not your client. Think about your clients. Do you have clients that drink their coffee in places like Starbucks? Because if they do, those clients by definition cannot be price sensitive because there are cheaper ways of getting your coffee fix. Do you have any clients that own an Apple product like this, an iPhone, an iPad, a Mac computer? Because those clients by definition can't be price sensitive. There are cheaper ways to get a phone, a tablet, a computer. So what I can almost guarantee is none of your clients are price sensitive. What they are is value sensitive, and that's a very different thing. And when we understand that, suddenly everything changes. The reason why we often think our clients are price sensitive is because at some point you've presented a price to a client or a prospective client and they've said to you, oh dear, that's a bit more expensive than I was expecting. And we assume because of that is that they're price sensitive. Now, actually, that's what's called an imaginary objection. It's the only reason anybody ever says to you, that's expensive, is because you haven't done a good enough job at explaining the value. Because what most people in society want, and particularly your clients, is we're value sensitive. I'm value sensitive, you're value sensitive. What we want is the biggest possible profit on the deal. That's the gap between the value someone gets, the benefit, and the price they pay. That's why people pay Starbucks more money to buy a venti chai tea latte or a venti latte because they see there's a bigger profit on the deal. It's worth paying that little bit more to get a bigger cup of coffee. I'm like that. I'm value sensitive. I want more. So when we understand that, what we have to recognize is that our focus has to change away from price towards the value to the customer. And that means using techniques, it means using language, it means using ways and systems of communicating value, which is a profession we've been very poor at. So that's the first myth. And I spent a bit of time on that because that is, I think, the number one thing holding accounting professionals back. We believe our clients are price sensitive. And so when we deliver a price, we try to be competitive, which is another way of being cheap. And that just creates all sorts of problems further down the line. That is why you are working too hard for too little money. So we have to change. Second thing, one of the things I've found over the last particularly 5 or 6 years is there is a huge shift away from billing by the hour to fixed pricing, giving a single fixed price up front. And the myth is this: fixed pricing and value pricing are not the same thing. Fixed pricing is great from the customer's point of view because it gives them certainty. They know exactly what the price is. But one of the things I know is that almost every single time an accounting professional gives a fixed price, that fixed price is based on their best guess of how long the job will take. It's a form of time-based billing. In fact, I came across an amazing quote by Ron Baker that made me laugh the other day. He said that fixed pricing is just time-based billing in drag, which I thought was great. And it's so true. It's not value pricing. And so we need to think differently. And I'm going to share with you how. Third myth is one I come across a lot, is people say to me things like, oh, Mark, yes, I know you're saying I should put my prices up and I should value price, but Mark, what you don't understand is I'm in an economically challenged area. I live in the country. We're currently in difficult times. We're in recessionary times. Mark, I have difficult clients. Actually, all of those things are excuses. I've found this from experience and benchmarking studies that firms that have got difficult clients or in economically challenged areas or in the middle of recessions have still found ways of pricing in a different way and got better prices.